Have you ever wondered why we have the sun, the moon, and the stars? Why there is earth, sky, and sea, and why love is often so blind? Let's dive into the fascinating story of the origins of the universe through the lens of ancient Greek mythology. Greek myths are not just entertaining stories, but also a way to explain the origins of all things and natural phenomena. Before the famous gods like Zeus, Poseidon, or Apollo existed, the world began from an empty void called chaos. From chaos, the fundamental elements of the universe, such as the earth, sky, and natural phenomena, were formed. Chaos was a state of neutrality, unaffected by emotions or matter, and from it, the universe began to take shape. Chaos created a group of 5 gods to shape the world together. Gaia, Mother Earth, appeared, bringing life and greenery. Gaia represents the land and nature, becoming the mother of all living beings. Nyx, the goddess of the endless night. Erebus, the abyss and darkness. Tartarus, the boundless underworld. Eros, the god of love and desire. Although Eros brought love, his eyes were blinded, causing his arrows of love to often fly in the wrong direction, leading to much suffering for humanity. This marked the beginning of many tragic love stories to come. Erebus, the god of darkness, and Nyx, the goddess of night, married and gave birth to Hemra, the goddess of day, and Ether, the god of light. This is how day and night, light and darkness, came into existence. Gaia, feeling lonely and longing for love, spontaneously gave birth to Uranus, the sky. Uranus became Gaia's partner. From the union of earth and sky, the first gods were born. This marked the beginning of a new generation of deities, who would shape the world as we know it. Gaia and Uranus gave birth to 12 titans, 6 males and 6 females. Among the male titans were Oceanus, the embodiment of the ocean, Cous, wisdom, Crius, the North Star, Hyperion, light, Iapetus, the ancestor of mankind, and Cronus, a time. Each titan represented an important aspect of the world, and they would play a crucial. In addition to the titans, Gaia and Uranus also gave birth to 3 one-eyed cyclopes. The cyclopes were Brontes, Sterops, and Arges, who later forged weapons for the gods. They also had 3 hecatonchyres, each with 100 hands, named Cottus, Briareos, and Gyges, possessing immense strength. This is the explanation for the ancient Greeks' practice of marrying within bloodlines. However, Uranus was horrified by the deformities of the cyclopes and the hecatonchyres, and he imprisoned them in the depths of Tartarus. This caused Gaia immense pain. Each time Gaia gave birth, Uranus would imprison the children, causing the earth to become increasingly cramped and filled with suffering. Unable to bear the pain of losing her children, Gaia sought out the Titans and urged them to rebel against their father. She forged a sharp sickle from molten rock and promised to assist whichever child dared to rise up against Uranus. Among the Titans, only Cronus, the youngest and most ambitious, dared to rise against his father. Driven by his desire for power, Cronus took the sickle from his mother and plotted to overthrow Uranus. His actions would usher in a new era, but also sow the seeds for future conflicts. As night fell, Cronus ambushed Uranus, using the sickle to sever his father's weapon and cast it into the sea. In agony, Uranus retreated from the earth, leaving a gap between the heavens and the land. Cronus became the new king of the gods. However, the blood of Uranus that spilled onto the earth gave rise to many new creatures. From Uranus' blood emerged the vengeful goddesses, known as the Erinyes, the giants called the Gigantes, and the Malia nymphs. These beings would later play crucial roles in many Greek myths. Notably, the Erinyes became a terrifying force for those who committed crimes, constantly reminding them of the consequences of betrayal. The weapon of Uranus fell into the sea, creating a mass of white foam. From this foam, the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite, was born. Aphrodite is renowned for her flawless beauty and her ability to spark love in the hearts of all. Her arrival will bring many beautiful love stories, but will also cause no small amount of trouble for both gods and mortals alike. Under the rule of Cronus, the world entered the Golden Age. This was a time of peace and prosperity. Mother Earth generously provided abundant harvests, and people lived in comfort and plenty. They had no worries about food or clothing, and there were no wars or conflicts. As they grew old, they simply drifted into sleep and passed on to the afterlife. But while humanity enjoyed a life of happiness, Cronus was consumed by his own fears. He had heard a prophecy that his own children would overthrow him, just as he had done to his father. This fear haunted Cronus, making him increasingly paranoid and ruthless. He decided he had to do something to prevent this fate. To prevent the prophecy, Cronus decided to swallow each of his children the moment they were born. He swallowed Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Rhea, the wife of Cronus and mother of the gods, was devastated as she watched her husband swallow their children. She could not bear the pain of losing her children one after another. When pregnant with Zeus, Rhea was determined to protect her child at all costs. She sought advice from her parents, Gaia and Uranus, and together they devised a specific plan. When Zeus was born, Rhea quickly hid the baby. Instead, she wrapped a stone in swaddling clothes and presented it to Cronus. Blinded by fear, Cronus swallowed the stone without suspicion, believing he had eliminated the final threat. Zeus was hidden by Rhea on the island of Crete, where he was cared for by the nymphs. The divine goat Amalthea nursed Zeus with goat's milk and honey. Since Zeus was a god, his cries were very loud. To conceal Zeus's cries, the Cretes would frequently dance and beat drums noisily. On the island of Crete, Zeus grew up strong and intelligent. The young man gradually became aware of his extraordinary powers and abilities. He was also told about the fate of his parents and siblings, which kindled in him a determination to avenge them and rescue his family. When he came of age, Zeus decided to return and confront Cronus. The determined young man aimed not only to rescue his siblings, but also to overthrow the existing order of the world. Zeus sought out the goddess Metis, the goddess of wisdom, for advice. Metis provided Zeus with a special potion. Zeus disguised himself as a cupbearer and mixed the potion into Cronus's wine. Without suspecting a thing, Cronus drank the poison wine. The potion took immediate effect, causing Cronus to vomit up everything he had swallowed. One by one, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon were freed. They were still alive and quickly grew to maturity. The young gods united, ready to confront Cronus. Zeus and his siblings, now the Olympian gods, began their war against Cronus and the Titans. This conflict is known as the Titanomachy. To strengthen their power, Zeus freed the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires from the prison of Tartarus. The Cyclopes, grateful to Zeus, crafted divine weapons for them. The Titanomachy war raged for 10 years, with terrifying battles. Zeus wielded his lightning bolt, unleashing horrific thunderstorms. Poseidon used his trident to cause earthquakes and violent tsunamis. Hades, wearing his helmet of invisibility, struck from the shadows. The Hecatonchires, with their hundreds of arms, hurled enormous boulders at the Titans. The Titans, led by Cronus, were equally formidable. Atlas, with his immense strength, lifted entire mountains and hurled them at the Olympian gods. Hyperion unleashed terrifying firestorms. The battle shook both heaven and earth. As the war reached its climax, the world descended into chaos. Landslides, skies tearing apart, seas boiling, and volcanoes erupting. It seemed as if the universe was on the verge of returning to its original state of primordial chaos. With the help of the Cyclopes and the Hecatonchires, Zeus and the Olympian gods finally defeated Cronus and the Titans. The defeated Titans were chained and cast into the abyss of Tartarus, where they would be imprisoned for eternity. Atlas, due to his pivotal role in opposing Zeus, was given a special punishment. Zeus condemned him to stand at the edge of the world, forever bearing the weight of the sky on his shoulders. This is why we have the towering Atlas mountains to this day. After defeating Cronus, Zeus became the supreme god, ruling over both the heavens and the earth. Along with his siblings, Zeus divided the cosmos among them. Zeus governed the sky, Poseidon ruled the oceans, and Hades presided over the underworld. The victory of Zeus marked the end of the Golden Age and the beginning of a new era. Humanity no longer lived in a time of carefree bliss, but they also had the opportunity to grow and advance. From the primordial chaos, through many upheavals and conflicts, the world gradually found order. Each god, each natural force had its own place and role. This was how the ancient Greeks explained the complex world around them. Mythology is a precious legacy, reflecting the creativity and wisdom of people from ages past.